Hi, Jeff Big Daddy Wayne here, and thank you for tuning into my channel. Big Daddy knows because I do. Today I want to talk about an interesting experience I had picking up Amy Schumer's autobiography. I like to read, and I love reading about comedians and comedy. That's my number one thing. And you know, Amy Schumer, I've always enjoyed Amy Schumer. I think she's a talented woman. I recently watched her Netflix special where she talked a lot about her vagina. Now, that's a big subject. And one of the reasons I was paying attention to this is I picked up her biography where she speaks about her, or writes about her vagina. So I said, I didn't realize it until I was reading the book. This is a very big subject. She goes in depth. I would give you a couple examples here. I just ripped this out of the book itself because nobody's going to read this. The title of the book is, as some of you know, is The Girl with the Lower Back Tattoo. Now, I guess the joke is there. We used to call a woman with a lower back tattoo a tramp stamp. If a woman had that tattoo on her back, it was called a tramp stamp. And I guess that's the joke there, you know. Of course, it doesn't matter now because everybody's got tattoos. I mean, it's a tattoo world, you know. A guy was telling me he ran into a prostitute who on her ass cheeks had printed "Next Please." I mean, I don't know what's going on. I went into a restaurant in West LA where the men have the tattoos printed on their chests. And I thought this was very odd. I asked him, why is this? He said, so if somebody says there's a hair in my food, I can say, well, it's on the menu. Ha ha! Anyway, let's move on. So here's the deal. She did have a series called Inside Amy Schumer. I guess we got that one, don't we? So I'm gonna just share this with you, okay? A couple of the chapters. The first chapter is a note to my readers, but the second chapter is an open letter to my vagina. Amy, there seems to be an obsession here. You're like a teenage boy with his dick. There's a point where you got to disengage. How can you write a letter to your vagina? Does it have eyes? Does it have ears? I mean, you're supposed to be running the vagina, not the vagina you. I guess it's supposed to be funny, except that I think in the vagina monologues, some of these things were addressed, you know. Your third chapter, I am an introvert. There's another chapter, Introduction to My Stuffed Animals. And what they were stuffed in was very disturbing. That's all I can tell you. Another chapter is How I Lost My Virginity. Well, I'm surprised you can even remember it after reading the book. I mean, how does it even stand out? Then you have a chapter called How I Become a Stand-Up Comedian. How to become a stand-up comedian. Now, that's your best chapter. It was worth writing the book just for that, because I think you gave very good advice there. The worst night of my life, for me, that would have been watching your Netflix special. Then you have What I Want People to Say at My Funeral. Amy, you left me on this one. Why didn't you say what I want people to say at my vagina's funeral? I mean, if we bury your vagina, there goes the act. But where are we going to get that much dirt? Now, let's just move on, shall we? Then you wrote down, forgiving my lower back tattoo. I don't know what's going on here, Amy. You sort of lost me. I wouldn't say anything at your funeral. I want you to live. I want you to be funny. I want your tits to talk. I want you to start writing letters to your tits. You have an asshole. Let's have that addressed, shall we? There could be a letter to my asshole, a letter to my tits. Work yourself up to your ears and eyes. I don't know. But I would say to you, I was also wondering why at the end you have a whole bunch of stuff about gun control. You want people to be concerned about gun control. How about writing a letter to your senator and your representative about gun control, Amy? That would be more effective than your vagina. Amy, I like you. You're a talented woman. You're rich and famous. There's so much more that you can do. Know that you have a friend in Big Daddy Wayne. And now me and my dick are going to wave goodbye. Subscribe to Big Daddy Knows. Jeff Wayne.